all subjects, I'd like to dive into it with a recap. Ask you guys just what happened last game.
Also, for recording purposes, I'm unable to do that at the moment.
I'm already streaming to YouTube's.
Alright, cool.
Hey everyone,
Hopefully-
remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell button for notifications.
Also, talk in the comments. It promotes engagement.
I hear
Love
2 songs.
engagement. 2 songs? There should be 1 song. We'll see how that goes. Cool. Let's see. So, last game, you guys broke bread with a devil, it seems.
We had a business lunch.
Business lunch with the Erinyes. Cherish, you guys move some bodies away from the fray, created a pyre, burnt some, prepared some lunch. During the lunch, you broke bread with Cherish, spoke about what she's doing, why she's here, what she's all about. You guys pulled away, had a group huddle, and made a decision whether or not to accept her deal. That deal being destroy the runes that prevent her from entering the ziggurat. In doing so, aid her in taking down its master, an arcanist by the name of Till Regor. A lich of some kind. Or a lich to be. Supposedly a lich. In exchange, she offered 1 of 2 things. To help you in combat as an ally, no questions asked, down the line, or to bring you, no strings attached, to her place of work, the city of Grunpoli, wherein a college of law in hell was erected, where many lawyers were born and many laws and records kept. This would be a 2-way trip for a set number of people. You would be under her protection during that time and unmolested by the forces of conniving Hellions. Bones went out on a what's that phrase? Out on a line? Limb. Went out on a limb, basically convinced the group, hey, I kind of need this. And the group agreed to go along with it.
Bones attempted telling the truth to everyone about why she needed a thing, and it worked really well for her.
The truth shall set you free, apparently. This is not a running theme. This is not what I'm trying to push. You should lie. You should lie often. This is the DM telling you, please lie, it's good. But also sometimes a little bit of truth helps. From there, you guys made your way deeper into the woods, found a place to camp. Bones went out on an excursion to try to find a place where she had cell service, so she could talk to Reg. Reg didn't have much information about Till, but Fleming had some information about the Arcanist who was apparently trying to achieve immortality of some kind. Something along the lines of transhumanism, some kind of magic and machine school was his whole shtick. That he was also very, very old, and his name came up in reference to Iadrothai, a place that had been mentioned in the past. Let's see if canny readers remember. Upon finishing that conversation, Bones returned to camp. Leah set up the bubble of tiny hut. You guys camped out, unbothered by the forces in the woods. Let's see, I am skipping over things, and there are players who had moments who will be able to fill me in as soon as I get to the end. So, during breakfast, Cherish brought up, hey, I could probably fly one of you guys to the ziggurat. At which point the party's like, oh, we have a hole. So you guys went into the hole. Cherish brought you to the top of the ziggurat, and you guys fought your way inside. Not before having to deal with some kind of wall of a wall of purple shimmering force, which Leah promptly bitch-slapped into oblivion. Within the top of the ziggurat, you pushed over what appeared to be a tablet or table or sarcophagus of some kind to find a drop and a hallway and a great alloy door beyond. So that's the long and short of it. During last game, did any particular instance, scene, or event stand out to anyone?
Viv took Vanya's Fey potion, started to feel real tingly. Got the notion that he should be tingling in the freight to come. So pretty much jumped down and cleared the way with, what was it, eldritch tentacles or so that just sprung to life.
Yeah, the shadows around you turned into tentacles and started to beat the piss out of the creatures surrounding you. And you also drew from them some kind of energy. You are currently sitting at a 15 temporary hit point surplus.
Indeed.
That will go away if you take a short rest. Keep that in mind. Or if any source of temp HP hits you. So if you use like False Life or some other ability that gives you temp HP, it will override it. So keep that in mind, spellcasters. Yes, but Vanya's Potion of Wild Magic seemed to have considerably positive results on you. Any other events that stuck out with anybody?
I already said mine. I was really happy with in character and out of character how we kind of came to the decision on how to deal with Cherish.
Indeed, that was a good moment for Bones.
Karn had a moment with Gallium. That was last game, right?
That was last game. Give us some insight on that.
Oh boy.
Unless you'd like me to take over, but I mean, you are your own player, and I'm going to be talking a lot.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just configuring Discord on this laptop since my computer's shot for the night. I guess they had a moment where Karn was kind of getting a read on Gallium, and Gallium's feeling on the situation. Hi, Toby.
Hey, Toby.
Let me see. They were talking a little about Warforged and where they come from, and that's what's coming to the forefront of my semi-distracted mind right now.
Certainly. So while in your distraction, just a quick little bit of extra, you moved aside to help Gallium move the bodies, and in that moment, there was this brief conversation about the Evermias and how they are beings of basically duty. They follow the war, and they continue fighting until even the heavens no longer accept them. And continue to fight for the Nine Hells, finding, whatever suits them as far as their goals go. Basically being consumed of their purpose. During that time, there was this moment where Gallium didn't want to ask a question, but you probed and found that Gallium was curious about what Karn knew about himself, the great sleep, as he put it, the moment where Warforged stopped being, and the reason why Warforged have to be rekindled. And more speculating that, well, if they have to be woken up, they must have fallen asleep. And he gave you a cryptic, not a warning, but he asked whether or not you had seen another like you, with the old design still fully intact from the old times. He mentioned that there was a Warforged who had some memories, who was awakened not by artifice or through rekindling, but from the removal of some kind of ring on her finger, a ring that had put her to sleep. Basically putting the feather in your cap that, hey, if you find a Warforged with a ring that put them to sleep, they're kind of weird. Just keep an eye out. I don't know if we can trust them, or if they should be trusted, or maybe we can't trust them. Those are the kind of vibes that you got from Gallium. It is a mystery to him, and he is wary of it. And to some extent, he seemed wary of you, until speaking and sussing out that, well, you're here because, well, you woke up after dying. That's different too, but he can he can deal with that. He can work with that. So, thoughtful moments happening with the Warforged pit crew. Let's see. Was there any other moment that particularly stuck out to players? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. Spooky ambient playlist go. So we will dive back into our game as you find yourself upon the top floor of the buried ziggurat. The Temple of the Moon, some would say. The Arcane Laboratory, others would utter. The Black Ziggurat, Buried Ziggurat, or Blackstone Monument, as others may call it. Upon infiltrating the top altar and finding the secret entrance, upon descending maybe 30 feet to the floor below via python, and rope, you find yourselves within a dark hallway, the only source of light coming from behind you and above, from the opening from which you entered. Can't detach my character sheet. Hold on. Yeah, okay, cool. Popping back in to the moment. See. The only source of light coming from the opening from which you had entered. Bones and Biff. Upon moving forward at a slow pace for one of you and a quick and reckless pace for the other, you find yourself standing at some kind of doorway. It is a tall... Actually, I have a description for this one. 1 second. A wall stands in front of you, made of what appears to be a pitted metal alloy, 20 feet wide, 10 feet tall. At its center, there is a seam which interlocks at blocky angles. A cursory inspection reveals that there are 2 circular slots on the surfaces near the door's frame, on the left and the right, approximately where you 2 are standing. Bones, you had made an investigation check last I checked. A roll of about 24. So, Bones, as you look this over, you study this hole and you do see with your keen tabaxi dark vision, there appear to be mechanical mechanisms inside. It looks like a lock, but one that you've never seen before. You're pretty sure that you could attempt to pick it, but you're not sure just what would happen if you were to try. You don't know if it's a key, some kind of token, the precise mechanism in play. Because of this information, you can estimate that it's going to be a difficulty, high DC, Thieves' Tool check, somewhere around the tune of 25. Give or take. With your 24 investigation check, you can suss out that these both have to be picked at the same time in order for you to pick the lock. You know, between your compatriots and yourself, there are means to make that possible. You can't be in 2 places at once, but you do know that there's someone with Tinker's Tools. Tinker's Tools can be used in place of Thieves' Tools for this kind of shit. You also know that Biff is no stranger to certain clandestine activities involving Thieves' Tools. Out of character, I'm saying you've got people in your party who can help if you want to attempt to pick this.
Yep. Yeah, if Biff can get the top, since he's already right next to me, if he can get the top and I'll get the bottom, sounds good.
Alright, so you guys will both attempt to pick the locks. In the party, is anyone proficient with Thieves' or Tinker's Tools in the party?
I am.
Biff should be.
Nah.
Yep, Biff is.
Alright, so Biff, you can make a Thieves' Tools check, and Bones, you can make a Thieves' Tools check. However, don't do it just yet. Roar, you can either choose to get in there, and if you think you can do better than Biff, you can attempt it, or you can aid one of the two. So if anyone here has Tinker's Tools or Thieves' Tools, or I'm also going to say Sleight of Hand as a skill, you can use the help action to aid these guys.
What's your sleight of hand on you?
My sleight of hand is +8.
I will. I'll assist Biff.
Help Biff, okay. That said, does anyone have an ability that might be able to aid a person's oh, Galleon's a cleric. Does he not have... He has Bless. So Galleon will point out, Galleon can call upon forces of benevolence to try to confer some kind of benefit if you are willing. It will take some out of Galleon, but he has not used many today. Feeling hale and healthy.
Let's do it, and I can save Nock for when we really, really need it.
Alright, so, Roar, you can move up to the doorway, within 5 feet of Biff to grant advantage. Gallium is going to use Bless, using that use of that spell for that day. Bones, you can add a d4 to your check. If you have, let's see, if you have Thieves' Tools proficiency, make a Thieves' Tool check. If you have Sleight of Hand, and it's better than Thieves' Tools, do a Sleight of Hand check. Biff, take advantage. And Bones, do you want that d4?
Hell yeah. I'm adding it now. Just if I
Add
if
a
I
D4,
got it,
just in
I'm
case.
gonna add it just in case.
You may as well use it.
Alright, I have no Thieves' Tools thing in my thing. My sleight of hand is +7. What is the Thieves' Tools roll? Forgive me.
Thieves' Tool is a tool check. So do you have proficiency in Thieves' Tools? But you don't have
I do.
tool stuff. Alright, so you don't actually have any tools to do this. If you want, you can grant Roar advantage on his tool check.
Okay, if Roy has the tools, then he will give it to Roy. Then.
Yeah. Roar will just pop open his wrist plate, pull out the Thieves' Tools that he has there, and work on it, and
You can take advantage.
pull back out.
Oh yeah, because he had to borrow jeweler's tools, but he should have Thieves' Tools. Whatever, we'll worry about it later.
So I think I know what happened with that, but we'll come back to that after we see the results here.
It won't let me. Okay, fine. It's doing me. You do it the other way. And again. And I'm going to. Wow, are you freaking kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of shit that happens on me.
That's the kind of shit. Wow, that's hold on a second.
Wait, hold on.
That's a +4. You should double your proficiency for that because you are an artificer.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm double checking something. Yeah, no, because I can't click on Thieves' Tools to make it roll on Thieves' Tools, so I just hit Sleight of Hand instead.
Oh, okay. So that should be a 14.
Yeah, and would using my normal tools that I'm proficient in, could I just use my frickin' int instead of my dex for that?
It would have to be a magic item.
Oh, it would have to be a magic item to do that? Okay.
It has to be a magic item. It has to be a magic item weapon for that to work, actually. So this is more manual dexterity. So you only rolled a 14. Bones, that is a
28.
let's see, 28 total. Okay. So, Dom, can you just throw in my IM's Thieves' Tools question mark, and I'll resolve that after game. Okay. So, Bones, you get in there and you start to fiddle around, and you manage to find what feels like a tumbler. You press down and you see a light appear inside of the tiny hole. It's a blinking green pulse. As Roar picks up his thieves' tools, begins to fiddle around, that green light turns red and flashes very, very quickly. You hear, and you feel pressure. That's Jaeger. And you feel the tongs and the pliers that you're using to unlock it momentarily get stuck, as though some mechanism had seized on it. There's a moment, a pause, before you fiddle and you manage to pull it free. And for several moments there is silence. The door remains closed. There are no sounds of alarm. There's no boom. There's no shifting, no grinding.
Did you get it?
Or, with your 14, you find yourself stymied. You are trying to find some lever, some mechanism, something to pull, something to twist, and you are confounded. You are certain that you have not picked the lock.
Don't like this lock.
Can I give it
another try? Give it another try?
Gallium readies his shield and looks about warily. You can attempt again. Bones, with your initial investigation, you are certain that something has reset. That with both locks not engaging simultaneously, it seems like your first attempt is moot if the second attempt is not made and succeeded at the same time.
It didn't work because I got mine unlocked, but I think that didn't quite work on Roar's end.
If you have issues, Biff can try.
Possibly. Game question, because I knew that you were thinking about stuff like this. Were you thinking about allowing the bard stuff to be done for Bardic Inspiration to be done at a reaction currently, or you want to stick with the current rules that it has to be done prior?
What, me? Oh, you're a bard. What the fuck? I haven't considered using Bardic Inspiration as a reaction. Yeah, fuck it, YOLO. Bones, write down somewhere on your page that you can use Bardic. You may use Bardic Inspiration as a reaction instead of a bonus action. It's instantaneous when you see a check within 60 feet if you fail.
Okay.
So yeah, on the balance, it still makes more sense for Roar to do this since he gets double proficiency. So I will just try the roll again, I guess.
As will I.
Alright. Gallium has used Bless, so he's unable to lend assistance. Holy shit, that's a crit. There's one in the pool.
Yay!
And that's a 27. And that's a 27.
You rolled twice.
I assumed that Biff was still helping me. So yeah.
Yes.
And I get double proficiency, so that's a 27.
With a crit and a 27. Bones, you get in there and what's going on in Bones' head? How is she feeling about this whole sitch?
I think slightly frustrated because she's gotten better about working with other people, but there's still a certain amount of I hate group projects. But
so with a little,
she can just kind of push it down and focus.
The little twinge of frustration, you swallow the urge to just fucking bolt and be in two places at once and do it your fucking self. You know you can't, but it would be cool if you could. and you get back to work and you focus on what you're doing. You get in there, you find the portion that you found before, and you press it down, and you pull the knob, and click, it turns green. Great. Now you look over to those guys. And you see Roar. Find the lever, push the knob, pull the switch. That little LED, that little magical diode that you saw, glows blue. And stays blue. A hissing noise billows through the room as the door that was previously a solid steel alloy surface splits down the middle, releasing what appears to be a faint amber light from within. You see the beginnings of a room open up in front of you, beyond which is a similar set of doors. The first thing you notice is the light. The second thing you notice is that it is not unoccupied. Exiting from a nearby door and closing it behind them, you see a humanoid-ish figure covered in thorns, spines, and spikes. Their gray skin is illuminated just faintly by the yellow glowing lights beside him. Upon his shoulders, pierced by the many spines on his back and arms, looks to be what it looks like denim overalls. And around the midsection is some kind of somewhat mundane-looking belt. His scrunched, long-nosed, and ugly face turns to observe you all at the doorway with a incredulous, confused, surprised, maybe curious. It's hard to tell. He's real ugly. As you come into view, and he comes into view, he all but stumbles forward and growls out. Sec. I was so prepared too. He grumbles out in common.
Oi, what's this? How'd you get in here? You there. We are not accepting visitors at this time. State your business, lest this gets rough and tumble.
I think the bard is gonna head forward.
As a Tabaxi elegantly struts forward. Bones, you move forward to engage. What is everyone else doing?
Biff is right next to Bones because he knows better than to let Bones be by herself.
Gallium tries to muscle into the doorway and finds that it is packed with people. He readies his shield, but kind of pauses, looking at Bones, seeing that the cat is doing something.
Okay. I'll give him a polite bow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're not accepting visitors. We had hoped to observe the ziggurat. It's such a beautiful, beautiful place.
The creature stares back at you. Let me see here. Oh, let's go to the bottom. Just checking the items I have at once. Okay. He studies you for about a moment, and I would like you to roll a. Let's make it a deception check.
Sure.
Biff can help with that because he's gonna be like, yes, beautiful jungle, beautiful ziggurats within the jungle is most beautiful. Yes.
Give me a moment. I gotta roll at advantage.
Yeah, you can take advantage. You've got Strange Man helping you.
21.
There's also one in the pool with a 21. Okay, so this creature looks you over. He sees one the size of your entourage, looking at the strange and eclectic group of folk presented. One sec, guys. Alright, so, with your deception check, you do see that you've given him pause, and he's taking a moment not to immediately engage. Just with your passive insight, you see that he's taking his time to try to make sense of what this is. You get a side eye from him, Bones, and a kind of incredulous look, Biff, as he is taking in what you're saying. He's mulling it over, and Bones, you got like inside up the ass. It's like he's looking for a trap. And he shifts to the side. He looks about, and his eyes fall upon Roar. And Roar, you see that he's staring past Biff's sizable form between the heads to kind of stare at you. This is
I wave slightly, and I point to, after I wave a little bit, I point to the symbol on my chest, and I will say, I was told that my father might be here.
As you speak and you mention that,
Karn looks thoroughly confused by all of this.
His eyes find their way to the symbol, and there's this little grin on the corner of his mouth, and
As I live and bleed. If it isn't Victor Price. New dads. What's with all the hubbub with this entourage? Are you trying to...
he mulls his palm, and he palms his chin and kind of rubs a thorny finger under his lip, and you explain father, and he pauses, and he frowns. There's a little bit of an arch to his brow. He looks you over, and there's this double take, where he's not sure if he believes what you say, but he studies you and searches for a lie, and doesn't find one. Not that you go lower or anything.
I didn't think he had it in.
And he licks his upper lip, nods.
Trying to pull a fast one. Surprise your pop's old friend Till, eh? So you've got your own Arcanum mechanical armor to boot. Oh, he's gonna be real jealous.
And he glances to look at Bones.
All right then, Inspector.
And he winks at you, this like gaudy, really, really fake wink.
Come on in. I'll introduce you to the boys.
He makes his way to the door. He pulls a set of what look to be thin sheets of some kind of hardened leather, each with different symbols along the sides of them, and he fiddles with them, looking them over. It takes him several moments to seemingly find the correct one as you guys kind of pile into this room. Just place yourselves where you would like to be at the moment. You guys have a moment to move and act and position yourselves. And Gallium's gonna ka-junk, 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 move over here. He peers in that doorway, looks around for a moment, and then kind of puts his back to it. He looks to you, Bones, and kind of like raises his brows, kind of lifts his hammer a little bit, as though asking, "Do we hit
Bones is gonna shake her head no.
Look, he stows it at his side and looks about. You see, there's a bit of nervousness. This is not his ideal scenario. Bones, as you approach, you see this spined creature is kind of fiddling with these objects, and he glances back toward you, Bones, and
So if we're being completely honest here, which of the Lord sent you? Can't imagine to be investigating just for the fun of it, right?
Why, sir, I am a scholar. And I'll give him a big ol' wink.
Right, you're following ISIS kid doing some kind of field trip, right? Right, got it. Hey, loads of violations. I mean, if you're here with Levistus, he will eat that shit up, okay? You'll be doing us a favor. Right, okay.
he touches one of these leather cards to the door. The door begins to open.
Keys.
I knew that the moment you introduced him as wearing overalls, I was like, I'm gonna be friends with this one.
This one is confused.
I'm Zabos, by the way. Come on in.
He leads the way into a large room. A faint, glowing crystal sits upon the ceiling, domed as it is, with a tiny little dot at its center. It flickers and produces this nasty, off-colored light that is completely unnatural. Bones, this is not the fucking sun. This sucks. It flickers and kind of wiggles in a most annoying way. The scent of reagents and grease and grime washes over you guys as you make your way inside. The sound of clanging and banging and chains pulling echoes throughout this room. Despite its size, it seems acoustically perfect to amplify and make these shitty noises sound worse. This is the worst forge you've been to. It's dangerous. It smells like someone left the oil drum open and let the iron get too hot. One moment. Roar, you clock that this is some kind of assembly room. This large room is made cramped by the numerous tools, tables, assorted machinery scattered throughout. Among the scent of grease is the scent of brimstone, accelerants for making things go boom. It's harsh on even your nose. For those of you with fleshy noses, it's a little worse.
Prestidigitation around my face just because Bones will...
Excellent! You start casting spells right away. I love to see it.
Bones will devolve into a sneezy fit.
The metal tile that you stand upon is loud beneath your feet, as though it's not quite bolted into place correctly. It rattles and it clacks and it clanks. These pounded metal plates over to the side here lead to a staircase, which goes about 20 feet into the air onto a catwalk. At the center of the room, above this catwalk, you see there is a single room that currently has a window facing out with the blinds drawn. You see numerous creatures within, tiny, dark-fleshed, imp-like creatures in robes wandering about, bringing tools to various larger creatures. There are larger creatures. In the corner, you see there are a number of what look to be humanoids, but with chains welded to their faces and their backs and their fingers, obscuring their faces. Over in the top left of the room, you see what appears to be some kind of winch, with these chain devils dragging something from deep beneath the floor through this assembly array. Let's see here. At the center of the room, Roar, in front of you, you see there is this massive hulk of flesh and metal rapidly poking, prodding, pounding, and assembling with its 6 arms this strange cart suspended in the air from the ceiling. There's no wood or canvas to speak of. This strange machine is shaped vaguely like a horse, with its front half slightly reared up. The design is sinuous, muscular, this black steel forged horse with its legs framed around what appear to be 2 wheels, one in the front, one in the back being slightly larger. The wheels are made of this strange and dull, dark material. It looks almost like leather. And each of the wheels bears a framework of thin rods going from one end to the other, which lead toward a center hub made of a reflective pale metal that catches the light. This mechanical horse's face has a narrow snout, sneering lips, red gemstone eyes, which are faceted into its overhanging brow, and 3 horns, one at the center, which protrudes straight out, and 2 which curl back like a ram's horns, almost as if to point where it's going. There's this leather that runs along its back, from the back of the horse's neck to the tip of the tail. It looks long enough to sit a person, maybe 2 people. And along the sides and midsection, there are numerous mechanical components connected to gears and chains in a set of 4 organ-like pipes that extend outward facing the rear. First thing that comes to you is, what the fuck is this? Bones, first thing that comes to you is, what the fuck is this?
No, it's not
No,
what the fuck is this, it's why is this?
Why is this? It looks like a mechanical horse, or a mechanical unicorn. While this large hulking creature is, banging and prodding and moving around with reckless abandon, flames bouncing off of its hammers as it bounds, there's another one. This large mechanical abomination, spider-like in its design, it has no flesh, it has no warts, no boils. It looks like a really robust construct, and it moves little tiny pincers along to move and position things effortlessly. This Hulk here looks like it is struggling to keep up.
Interesting.
What's everyone doing?
So
He just walks in and looks around.
from a purely scholarly line of questioning, how would you say your working conditions are here? What do you do here?
Oh, right, scholarly merit. And he winks at you. As you mention that, he kind of waves off to the side. And,
B, Doug, Ock, Mister, we've got some scholarly visitors.
and as he calls out, a number of these chain devils look in your direction. They begin to move toward the party, walking over what appears to be some kind of hellish sigil on the floor. It's carved into the ground with this blood red, like dried blood red ink, and there's a large scorch mark in the center of it. One of the small imps approaches as well, as does this strange-looking bird-like creature. This chain devil moves to take the position of the other, working whatever winch is over in the corner. They move a little closer. Roar, one approaches you, and he looks you over.
Oh. Is that Price? What the hell is Price doing here?
He looks over to Zabaz, and Zabaz shakes his head.
Oh, it's his kid. Well, apparently. His kid? Huh. You got your dad's beard. I'm Belix. This is Dag.
Dagos is fine.
Dagos, sorry. That's Aricus.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice
The small imp-like imp bows his head.
How do our conditions go? Well, it's hard work. It's honest work. But it's a lot of work. And frankly,
You might say they've been worked to the bone.
He looks about, and his eyes fall upon the automaton in the corner, giving it a kind of askance glance. He looks over and glances between you, Lorne, and you, Bones.
As far as safety goes, well, I would not say it's unsafe, but we are running quite low on supplies. Things have been extended, you might say, beyond what is an acceptable amount of time. It would seem our contract was written in bad faith. But Zariel does seem to approve of getting her toys at a foundry manner, so long as she's pleased, I suppose we will continue to work indefinitely. If you were looking for, well...
He looks towards Zabas. Zabas nods, and he looks back to Bones.
The juicy shit, well, you might find that on the second floor. Some strange things happen in alchemics.
Aurora's eyes kind of brighten up for a second at the talk of strange shit in alchemics.
Biff, you move around, and you find coming down the stairs is one of the barbed creatures in overalls. They glance and look over at the group.
Huh. Well, we finally get some new blood. You don't look like you can handle a wrench.
He looks you over. He looks your knuckles over.
Actually, maybe you can. Listen, help me out with this real quick. You look green. Let me break you in.
And he all but takes you by the hand and begins to make his way toward the center where they're working on this large mechanical horse. Passes by Natasha, grunts at the cat.
Didn't know they were letting pets in.
Looks at you, Verdi.
Didn't know they were letting pets in.
He continues toward the others, sees what's happening in the corner, and kind of looks the others over warily.
Felix, what the fuck is this? A meet and greet? We're behind quota. We gotta move.
Belix then looks toward you, Bones, and nods a little bit.
We are behind schedule quite a bit.
Well, that can happen when supplies are running a little light.
Supplies and assistance. It is hard to find a good devil these days. That said...
He looks you over and he sniffs the air.
Well, one of you's got the mark of the infernal, but the rest of you are kind of... flashy. Where did you say you were from again?
Like I said, scholars. And I'll kind of give him another big ol' wink.
Zabaz follows the wink, and it's a gaudy, just very clearly unsubtle kind of wink.
Scholars come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, don't they?
He grunts a little bit, looks across the room.
Scholar. I mean, you're not strangers to magic, yes? Excellent. Well, seeing as you're interested in finding the interesting things, I propose maybe a little bit of quid pro quo. We're behind schedule. We have to follow to the letter our agreement. But there's nothing saying that we can't get some help. The man in charge, and he
points upward toward the room. One sec.
Rennick, the many-handed, he's a bit of a prick. He's got card that'll let him go downstairs. Suppose you help us out quiet-like, get our job done. We'll get the card from him, and you can go along your merry way.
Well,
I could help.
You might be surprised to hear this, but I'm actually no stranger to a forge.
Excellent. Right then. Follow me.
He tucks his hand to his waist, and he begins to make his way toward the chain assembly in the side of the room. Another one of the chain devils nods and looks you over. A couple of imps fluttering in the air look at the party scrutinizingly as you all kind of file your way inside. Gallium ducks his head to get inside, much to the surprise of this barbed
I
fellow.
fucking love that Gallium is surrounded by demons, and we're trying to be friends with them.
He looks Gallium over. He sees the symbol on his chest and pauses.
I think I recognize that. Hold on a second. Are you
He's my
Gallium.
guardian.
He's my guardian.
He lifts up his shield. And Blackguard Guardian, former follower of Moradin, know many secrets and ways of working metal. Roar, you can roll. Do you want to roll deception or give him advantage?
I'll give him advantage.
I'll give him advantage because I was being honest. Technically, he's my guardian.
So Gallium rolls in nat 20. I'm keeping that in the pool for myself.
excellent. Secrets of the gods. Great. Love to see it. Love to see it.
He hands Gallium a hammer, drags him over toward this horse. Gallium looks at you, Roar, kind of warily.
Yeah, okay, we are hammering. We are hammering.
And Gallium appears to be preoccupied with the assembly of something. So let's go round robin real quick. Biff, you looked like you were investigating something. Was there something you wanted to do?
Biff was trying to sneak his way the lug around and up the stairs.
Around upstairs. It does seem that everyone's kind of focused and staring in Bones and Roar and Gallium's direction. So you can go ahead and roll a stealth check if you want to be stealthy. You can take advantage if you desire.
So I rolled a 10 already. I'm going to take that advantage. 12.
12 stealth?
Yes.
All right. So go ahead and place yourself where you'd like to be. Keep in mind, there is one in the pool if you want to use it in the pool. I think we have two in the pool, right? One in the pool, right?
One.
Yeah,
You
we
keep
just have
another
one. You rolled a nat 20, but that doesn't
I
count
keep those
for
in my
us.
pool. I get to use those on you later.
If nobody, well, no, I'll keep it. I'll keep that. Whatever.
Keep your 12. Okay. Passive perception. Okay. This guy is focused, so he's taking -5 to his passive. Biff, despite yourself, you manage to slink off into the shadows and make your way up this flight of stairs. Ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk. You find yourself about 20 feet up.
Verdi's gonna see this and probably feel like it's a bad idea for him to go by himself in such a place, and he's gonna follow Beth.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. People are preoccupied doing various things. They're kind of focusing on this mechanical horse and rushing things. So you can take advantage on that stealth check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So with a little more finesse, you make your way to follow after Beth. You make your way all the way up to the top of the stairs if you choose to go to the top.
I will. Well, I guess Natasha. Should I roll for Natasha too?
If Natasha's going to be attempting to stealth away, you will have to roll for Natasha.
Okay. She also. Wait a minute. Does she have the same as me?
Advantage.
Hold on.
No, she is her stealth is higher than yours, I believe. She has attributes. Stealth is
A plus 13, so that
plus 13.
is a 30.
Your cat's gone. Your cat's just fucking missing in action. You can't find her. Bye. See ya.
That's how the pets get in.
That's how the pets get in. Karn, what do you up to?
Notice, I've got something. Buttons are going weird. Okay, can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Now I can, yeah.
Buttons were doing all weird. I don't know if what I said went through, but there was something I was looking to do before Biff and Verdi took off.
All right. If you want, we can massage it.
Yeah. My passive is high enough to notice Biff slinking off and Verdi moving off to the side. So I'm gonna look around and having no idea what is going on here. I'm going to just kind of back out of this door and step to the side. I'm largely out of sight of everyone, right?
You are out of sight of the doorway, yeah. You're hidden in your own little corner.
I'm going to wild shape into a sparrow and go and land on Verdi's head.
I don't know if there's a sparrow stat block, but you have access to the polymorpher. Find a creature that you'd like. I'm going to say that a little tiny creature goes unnoticed. There's imps everywhere. So while you do that, Leah, what are you up to?
So just trying to keep towards the end of the group. If anyone asks for my assistance on stuff, I will admit that my skills are probably not suited for this room.
Probably not suited for this room. So, Leah, as you are kind of mulling about and hanging out, Zabaz, whisper from Enceladus. Was that an accident? I'm going to assume that was an accident. You overhear as Zabaz kind of sidles up next to Bones and somewhat not subtly.
Yeah, things have been a little hairy lately. We've been a lot fewer numbers these days. With the stipulation Till's put in with the inability to return home, those of us who get our boo-boos don't really enjoy the quick and zippy recovery we used to.
Well, that doesn't seem fair.
No, not really. It's a lot nicer if we can just, suck some life and get our wounds mended. I've had this busted knuckle for the past 12 weeks. It's, God, like hitting like a human. It sucks. And don't get me started about those of us who,
gestures toward the winch.
Chain duty. Some of those guys actually died from getting their arms pulled off. You don't want to get popped here. No, it's very unflattering being turned into mush. I like it better when you're with up in flames and woke up back home, but it's a security concern. We can't have people teleporting in and out. Paranoid prick.
What sort of thing could even cause that? I've never heard of that before. I admit I might be a little bit new to the scholarly
roll
game.
Me a fucking check for that. Roll me a deception check. While that happens, Biff, you were up on the second floor. What are you up to?
Biff is pretty much investigating and seeing what else he can see.
So along
scouting ahead.
Yeah, along this catwalk, you see that there is a dark-skinned imp-like creature without wings, almost like a little tiny, almost like a gnome, makes their way out of this locked door and meanders somewhat in your direction. They pass you a glance and kind of look past you. In their hand is a clipboard full of various papers. There's blood on the papers. The door that leaves behind appears to be locked. It is a simple metal door. There's no window to see in. After overhearing from earlier about the overseer, you're pretty sure this is his office. This guy makes his way down this catwalk and oversees events happening on the ground floor. You find yourself mostly alone up here. Deception, Bones. Are we using Cat's Luck for that one?
Yeah, I am using Cat's Luck because I didn't like that 11.
Alright, Cat's Luck.
I don't know how to subtract. I'm going to re-roll the dice because I don't know how to subtract it with the new character sheets.
Got it. Okay, so just give me the total number when it's finished. Biff.
You are... Okay, it's 18.
18? Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. Biff, you find yourself up here investigating. What are you looking for?
He's just nothing specific, just seeing what it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me know if you are planning to look into greater detail at anything that's around here.
All right. Well, he's gonna look at that door and indeed see that it's locked. You jiggle and handle a couple times.
You jiggle the handle and you hear a distant grumble and a voice from within. Oh, what is?
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Stop.
The fuck is this?
I don't know. Did someone hit something?
I mean, this looks like a safety tool. So I know, like,
That looks like the X card tool, but I don't.
Yeah, it's the X card tool.
I don't have X cards installed. I didn't think.
Someone must have hit a thing on accident.
That was me on accident.
Okay.
Ooh, there's an X card feature.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry, everyone.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can disable that. That's cool.
That was alarming.
That's the X card, baby.
Well, that's what the X card is for. It's for, like, you are hitting my triggers. You need to stop right the fuck now. So.
Okay.
Hey, it works.
So, Biff, I'm gonna resolve this with you hear from inside.
We're not busy, don't you understand? Talk to me again when you've met your quota, you lazy pricks.
And you were left by the door. Bones, with your 18 deception. Zabos does not see through it. He kind of rolls his hands a little bit.
Oh, it has got some kind of magic. Apparently it's infernal in nature and it allows him to set the rules here. Some kind of old incantations, rooted in symbology and, I think, runic. Unfortunately, as part of our contract, we are forbidden from directly interacting and, really doing anything that might fuck up the situation.
I am not gonna lie to you. The situation here is more serious than I thought it was.
I'm so happy to have a sympathetic ear, but you didn't hear it from me.
No.
Be, yeah, of course.
I mean, I find...
They would tell you the same thing.
Alright, I find that the only way to get the truth is to protect your people who tell you the truth, you know?
I agree wholeheartedly.
He gives you that gaudy, gross wink.
I'll get you. You get me. Yeah, we got each other.
That's Zabos. It's a tiny bat! Yeah, come on. You can increase your elevation to, like, 25 feet to see what the others are saying. Or I can do that here. 30. There we go. So, little tiny bat flutters across. Leah, it does catch your ear something about wounds and not healing. And something about getting pulped. I'd like you to roll an Arcana check or Religion check when you have a moment. Gonna move from Bones to Roar. Roar, you find yourself beside this behemoth of metal and gears and flesh, with an insectoid-like mandible. It glances down at you, and you see its eyes, which are peeled back and pinned. Its eyelids are pinned to the sides of its head, as are the eyelids on the back of its head. And it looks at you. It observes you. And if it could squint, it could. And very quietly, as it leans over to you, it speaks very, very softly.
This one sees through your charade. This one does not care. A moment of your time, please.
Certainly. I have questions. We may have answers. And we might be able to help.
The second room. Enter it. Find the chest. There is an item. Take it. And assist this one.
That room over there.
I kind of work my head over to the, across from the sign over here, so just to this door.
He gestures on over toward that door. You see a tiny, almost gnome-shaped, dark-skinned creature slip through the door over on that side.
I gesture
Towards the circle on the floor.
Is that two-way? Or is that only to take the things you make down to wherever they're supposed to be? Does that go back to where you're from?
Others only. No living things.
Ah.
I look over at the
construct across the way.
So, if a construct like that one was causing troubles, if you could get it over there, and you weren't responsible, it could be removed from the room?
There's a long pause. It proceeds to pound its many hammers against the horse with more vigor, leaving red, hot marks across the surface.
The tool. Return.
What does the tool do?
It helps you build. Discreetly.
That's a tool I would like very much.
It gestures toward the door a few more times, clearly excited and agitated.
I'll look around.
We'll see. I might have to help you with this horse, but
I'll see what we can do.
I'll see what we can do.
Okay.
And not making a promise.
I will
slink over
closer.
and
I will
look at Zabos
and I'll say,
what's behind
the door?
There's tools. Tools, extra blades, there's the lye, the lubrication grease. I think there's a couple of soul tokens. Chester.
Chester.
Sorry, Chester.
Is Chester a foreman?
No, Chester's he's what's it, quartermaster? No, not quartermaster. He documents and keeps track of all the things. Inventory. He does inventory. Wonder I can't stay in one place. Being real good at holding on things.
Okay, so if I need to requisition a tool to help, I would have to get in there and talk to Chester.
Yeah.
Is he in the same situation you are?
We're all in the same situation. We're all workers' union, working together. Like friends.
Are there any tools in there that I should not get for anyone out here? Or are they just in there because they could cause trouble?
For the sake of organization. Well, the buzzsaw blades do cause some problems if they're not handled correctly. Do not let the imps carry the buzzsaw blades, thank you much.
I look over at the... I give a light gesture to the tall insectoid.
And him?
Oh, it's Marty. Marty's a good sort.
And he lifts a hand, waves at him.
Yeah, between you and me, Marty's been a little bit insecure. What with the clockwork abomination Till's put here. One of his machines. I think he's fixing to replace us. Unfortunately, that is not a breach of contract. Extra unfortunate, it would put us out of a job and forfeit some of our soul tokens back home. We don't like his mechanical thing. But we do like Marty. He's a good sort. A little weird, but yeah, abominations are like that.
If you can get Chester out of that room, and no one cares if I go invisible, I might be able to help Marty.
Well, Chester stays put. Like I said, he's quite stationary. Tell you what, go find Chester. Ask him about the tool in safety word is pink pineapples. You know what I mean.
Pineapples?
Oh yeah, pink pineapples. This kind of pineapple. I would know I am covered in thorns. Pines, you might say. Call it a kindred spirit, but tastier.
So, if I think I'm getting in trouble, I say pink pineapples out loud so you can hear, or I say pink pineapples to him, and he knows that I'm on, what do humans call it, the level.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
How do I activate that circle, by the way?
It activates when the job's done. As soon as the final completed machine is built, it will turn on, I would presume. Usually that's how it works.
Okay.
We'll bring the fin over, paste them in the circle, poof. Just keep your hands out of the way. It will take your hands.
I lean in and whisper.
I think I've got some job security for you.
He looks you over, looks at the circle, and he gives you a body gross wink.
Job security. Oh yeah. I'm picking up what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. I'm just gonna move back over here and just mosey on over to my guard station and watch from a distance and
Oh, I
make
actually
sure nothing bad happens.
can you show me the thing that you were thinking?
The thing that you were thinking?
Yeah, I'm literally just making an excuse to walk away with him.
Oh, yeah. The plausible deniability. Have it.
Another level of no. He was definitely showing the scholars the thing.
So, Roar, you head off in that direction. Bones, you head off in that direction. Gonna move back around round robin, and Roar, door is open. You can see inside there is a. Oh, you shouldn't be invisible. You should be visible. Inside, you see that there is a small, dark-skinned, gnome-like creature. There are numerous barrels full of various alchemical reagents. There's a grease, there's some kind of lye, there's a barrel that says LN2 on it that you don't recognize. There are numerous tools and items scattered all throughout, and there is a large chest in this corner right here.
All right. I'm good with sidelining so other people can go, and the only thing that Roar would have done before moving is telling Everard to stay with Leah to protect if needed, but just look regal and move with her if she moves.
Okay, look regal. All right, so moving back around, Gallium ends up moving over to this part here. He's getting up on this like platform to hammer and bash and move like some chains into place. They're taking advantage of his strength, well and truly putting him through his paces. Beef and Bat and Verdi and Natasha, what are you guys up to?
Biff actually knocks on a door a little bit. Well, actually, first, you said the imp went on a catwalk. There's a catwalk up here? I don't see it.
Oh, sorry. Let me move you a little bit higher. All right, you should be able to see him now. This guy should be at your level. Yeah, you should be able to see all that. Cool.
Okay, so, all right, that just goes over the thing. Okay, Biff's gonna actually, like, knock on a door a little insistently.
What are you doing, Biff?
Investigating. We're investigators, right?
Yes.
Then Biff is doing job.
Squeak.
All right, there's a squeak from Karn. Update token. Cool. All right. Okay. Biff, you knock on the door, and there's this grunt of frustration.
They're insolent and incompetent. I cannot believe this.
The door clicks, pops, and unlocks, and you are face to face as you find yourself staring upward into what appears to be the face of an arachnid-faced humanoid. Their mandibles twist with frustration, click and clack. You see that he's dressed in a very regal and proper-looking cut, including a frilly and really gaudy hat. Two of his many arms are folded in front of him. One of his arms is holding a wine glass. The other is holding what appears to be a quill, and another arm appears to be holding a clipboard with many, many papers. The interior of the room looks to be a well-furnished office, complete with a carpet, a desk, a fluorescent light that flickers with really gross, unnatural bright light, and a desk with more papers and such on it. The creature looks you over and is going to roll a quick insight check. He's looking through you. He's kind of staring at you. Glances over, sees Verdi, looks back to you. You have a moment to interject or react, as he is somewhat dumbfounded.
Biff and companion and other companions here are inspectors. What is your role here?
A deception check.
Nat 20.
What the fuck?
The key to making people believe you know what you're doing is authority. Just pretend to have that and you're good.
Inspection? Upon what authority? We weren't expecting an inspection. Hold right there for just a moment. Actually, no, follow me. I'm looking for my papers. Where is my documentation?
He kind of glances back and sees that Verdi has taken the space in the doorway. Biff, you can just kind of intuit that he's feeling a little bit of intimidation, seeing that two investigators are checking in on what's happening.
Biff gonna raise his hand and give him a calming motion. Calm down. First, your name. And your role.
Whoops, I raised my hand.
And you timed out the game.
I timed out the game. Oh, let's not do that.
I'm production overseer, Remick the Many-Handed. As per the many hands.
And he kind of lifts two arms out, and then two arms out, and then two arms out, and sloshes his wine. He brings his hands back together and begins to more delicately and slowly go over his paperwork.
We are far behind schedule, creating works of wonderment and destruction for the devil Archduke Zariel, as you should know as the inspector, but I'm sure you don't read the paperwork as most inspectors are wont to do, or perhaps you're trying to catch me in a lie, which I am not. We're working to meet quota for Zariel.
How far behind are you?
Well, there's the magnificent writing machine, there are some spikes of shattering, there are a few cannons and trebuchets, and a few swords of utter darkness that we're trying to fabricate. It is taking quite a while. We've lost a few people. It is to be expected. It's hard to find good work, and these men cannot be motivated.
Indeed. Biff has heard of some of your troubles.
What have they been saying? They should not be speaking to outsiders.
He kind of moves to look, to meet you face to face.
We had a team meeting about this.
Well, as his inspector, it is inspector's job to know what is going on, and perhaps inspector can give help when needed.
He squints and looks you over.
In what form?
He folds his arms, looking you over.
Well, what exactly do you need? You'd say you need bodies and tools?
We need able-bodied workers who are capable of being motivated.
Biff looks back and gives a nod to Verdi as if, take a note of this. Come, show Biff around your facility a little bit.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Nat 20.
Okay. Who's keeping track of the pool? Is that 3 now in the pool?
Yeah, I'm keeping
Okay, cool.
track.
He looks at you for a few long moments. Looks at a long and deep sigh.
We will. I shall show you the full tour. And by the end you shall be impressed, and offer what aid you may.
Come.
Biff will follow.
So after successfully getting the overseer to leave his office, there are some hushed murmurings and grumbles and phrases in Infernal. Most of them insults and quiet, hushed curses. Verdi, you speak Infernal, that you make out as the boss is now in the office and looking over the...
Oh, this place is a pigsty. Oh, awful. No wonder they can't be motivated.
We're going to pull away from you, move back around, unless Verdi and Karn, you guys want to do something specific. Squeak.
Yeah, Verdi's just there in case something bad happens, so Biff isn't alone.
Hello, Kitty.
And he moves across the way. As he goes, he kind of pipes up and shouts at various creatures. This ink devil over here is so startled by the phrase he almost falls off the edge of the catwalk, catches himself, chitters and grouses in Infernal, and proceeds to continue taking notes, looking at the clockwork machine that is building in front of him. You guys make your way back toward the catwalk stairs.
Does that catwalk have rails?
It has rails on these two sides. You see, at the very end here, it is open. There are no rails there.
Oh, it's bad violation. No wonder people are so unmotivated. Many ways to get hurt here, outside of the natural work. Have your people put a rail at the end of there?
We have considered doing it, but again, that's motivation, Bob. I would have to assign that task to one of these dullards, and they would have to put it up. But as you say, I think it would be a good idea.
Indeed.
Initially, when we began our processes, Till was, he assured us that, well, he was banking on the idea that the devil kind regenerates, that we are impervious to most damages here on the material plane. And then he set us down towards up. Now, when we are harmed, we stay harmed. And when we are slain, we stay slain. Not a good setup.
No, not good at all. Definitely bad for that motivation.
Certainly, dealing with one's mortality is a terrible motivator.
And he leads you guys toward the stairs and down the catwalk. And moving around, Robin, Leah, you're kind of in the middle of things. Devils are doing things. They're beating on hammers. They're moving items around. At one point, you see a large, like a rotary blade, moved across the room from one side to another. Someone drops a hammer on their foot with a terrible crunching noise. Oh, shit! There's blood. There's lots of blood. There are several devils that are trying to, patch it up and doing a terrible job of it. There's no real...
an Arcana check earlier, but you said later, and I haven't rolled it yet.
Oh, Arcana check. Yeah, go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me. Or a Religion check. I forgot to resolve that. 12 with an Arcana. So with an Arcana check, before you resolve that, there are 3 in the pool.
Does anyone care?
Please, go.
There's 3. We don't...
You can't keep them. Hey, 24.
Go.
Arcana. Okay. So, one of the reasons why devils, demons, extra-planar entities are such good servants is the fact that when they get hurt, they don't stay hurt. When they die, they don't stay dead. They just go home. These devils, upon seeing their own blood cast across the floor, are kind of wary of it. They know if they fuck up too much, it's game over for them. That's what you're taking from the conversations you're hearing with Bones. That's what you're getting from the hammer drop, is that they don't really have any access to healing. They're not used to staying wounded for long. And as you look across the room, you do see that there are a number of, one of the chain devils has a sling. Someone else has got a bandage on the side of their head that looks like it's freshly bloodied. And the working conditions are just no one has a hard hat. Barely anyone's wearing, leather gloves. it's kind of a ripe situation for, diseases to fester and for people to just die.
Well,
You're pretty sure you see a bloody smear over by the winch as well.
I take it with my observation, it doesn't look like this bird is talkative.
This fellow, he doesn't seem terribly talkative. He does seem intelligent enough to talk. You see him, like, looking about. He laughs when the hammer drops. You hear him utter something in Infernal. Mostly he's grousing and moving along, and at one point he is directed to, like, move something from point A to point B. He does the thing, and then plops back down, watching as, the Automata Devil and the Clockwork Abomination are apparently, like, duking it out as they build, trying to outdo one another.
Second question, who dropped the hammer on their foot?
You'd see in the corner. You'd see it's this chain devil over here, Belix. Another chain devil has kind of moved and stopped what he's doing to try to tend to the wound. He's like,
oh, that looks like a really bad one. Yeah, that's a bad one. Oh, you're gonna lose your toes, brother. No, I like these toes. I really like these toes. You can always ask Till to make us some new ones. Fuck you.
My way over there and now how do I word this? I can't help but notice the plight going on. And I don't want to be full of myself and just blast healing. I want to make sure that my positive aura won't fuck with things.
You say this, like, out loud to try to, like, woo them.
Like,
you mentioned
level with the that are.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and the one who's, like, currently, like, bleeding gouts of blood from his now severed toes looks back toward you and is like,
oh, fuck me, you're a healer. Well, yes, no, positive whatever, get over here. God, we haven't had a doc in here in years. Her name is Calavera, but she barely does anything.
Okay.
I mean, she doesn't do nothing. I mean, she's something to look at, keeping you interested in doing the job. I don't normally go so far, but
I nod sagely along with his griping because I completely understand.
So yeah, he presents his foot to you, and, like, his toes are hanging on by just tendons. It's really well and truly crushed.
Let's see, would that be another? Would a medicine check help to determine what level of spell I'm going to need for this thing?
You can roll a medicine check to determine. Off the bat, you know that Cure Wounds will just undo the damage and leave it bruised but functional.
Okay, I'm just making sure that whether I had to go a little higher than Cure Wounds for.
Yeah, no, this isn't a regenerate situation. The body part is intact. It's a fresh wound.
Okay. I will pop a Cure Wounds then for him.
All right. So you pull from the plane of positive energy, and you find that there's this, like, pressure pushing against you. Go ahead and roll your dice, though.
What?
11. One by one, the toes pop back into place, and, like, it makes you wonder why this guy's moving around barefoot in a fucking workshop, but that's neither here nor there. You see the red skin kind of, build back over, leaving some slight pink scar tissue. He wiggles his toes and lets out a deep and long sigh.
That was my favorite foot. Oh, thank you. That's really quite good.
I nod at his praise.
And as you do, his compatriot kind of gestures to his arm, which is in a sling.
I've got a boo-boo too, Mrs. Healy lady. Doc, sorry. Maybe you can take a look at this.
And he kind of moves in toward you, and you see that there are several others that are kind of like dropping what they're doing to gather around you. You hear some comments, here and there about like, I've got a saw, I've got a what?
You got really nice ears.
And you've attracted some attention. Several imps are starting to just flutter nearby and just take notice of what you're doing. I'm going to pull away from you, and I'll move to Roar and then resolve things with Bones if Bones has insight she'd like to use. Roar, you are inside this room. And open that door again.
Yes.
You find this this short fellow is kind of seated in one of these chairs. He appears to be looking over a number of tools. There are nails, there are screws, there's a hammer, there's some tongs. As you move in, he kind of glances up at you, looks you over. He eyes the symbol on your chest and bows his head.
Welcome back. Been a long time.
Thank you. Pink pineapple.
Pineapple. oh, jeez. Yeah.
He gestures toward the chest.
Just open it up and then say it.
I blink. My eye stalks go blank and come back up. I turn around to the chest and I open it and I say pink pineapples.
So the second that you open the chest, its many, many rows of teeth along its rim jut out. The chest swings open wide, and this large, fleshy appendage from inside begins to try to wrap around you. You utter the phrase, pink pineapples. And the tongue doesn't even touch you. It just slips back down into its maw. The chest remains open as its tongue wriggles around and produces, squelching, a number of implements. You see standing in this pile of stuff inside of this living chest's maw, there is one that sticks out to you because it is engraved with runic. It's a sort of has a hand-length shaft with a long and slender silver-looking rod at the end that is cross-shaped at the very tip. It looks like a spanner, a screwdriver. There is an aether stone embedded in the very end of it that glows with a faint golden light. You recognize this as some kind of transmutation magic. You know this is a magic implement of some kind.
Okay, I will reach down and pluck that up. And all the other tools, they look like just plain tools to me
They look like mundane
so far.
tools, yeah. There's some tongs, there's some pythons. There is like enough stuff there to cobble together a tinker's kit. You could cobble together a tinker's kit with the various stuff that's there. But it's mostly mundane things, except for that one that stands out to you.
Okay, I'll take the screwdriver, and I'll look back, and I'll say something along the lines of thank you. This will allow us to help you finish faster and get some more job security.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
He lifts his hands and he goes back to fiddling with the stuff on his desk. Seemingly not picking up what you're putting down, but he seems to be ambivalent. As you make your way back out. So, Roar, you make your way back around. You see that Leah is healing various people. And getting just surrounded by people who are interested in, stuff and things. Just paying a lot of attention to her. It's at around this time that the arachnocrat makes their way downstairs, and I'll move you guys to follow. And 1 sec. Elevation 0. 1. Here we go. Elevation 0. Cool. Radical. You guys are following after him, and gonna bring back to Bones at the bottom of the order. Bones, you are just observing various things and stuff. If there's anything that you wish to ask of Zabaz, he appears to be an open book. He is... You can't tell if he's taken by you, or if he's just really interested in something to shake things up.
Who knows? But either way, Bones will take an ally where she can get it. And she's actually going to move a little bit away from the door.
He gives you a little side eye, puts his hands in his pockets and kind of...
Whistle while you work. Hey, stop running with that!
And what have they been calling this wizard? I feel like it's like Thule.
Till.
Till. Okay, sorry. My brain is mushy, mushy, mush. We're at bad mashed potatoes level. So here's the deal. It's not really about the safety. Till has made a lot of... Till is in deep shit.
He kind of glances and pokes his head in, pokes his head out.
So you with Mammon then? The debt collector. Got it. Yeah, no, he's made some enemies, but my hands are tied. I can't do much around this. I even can't tell you too much. Some things, maybe. What with contracts being contracts and all.
Contracts being contracts and all. I understand.
Right.
On multiple levels. Whatever you can tell me can help me help you. Get out of a frankly bad deal.
It's a bad deal. Well, let's see if I'm being completely honest. Well, not all of us are as frank and polite and friendly as us grease monkeys here in the Union. We're the forward-facing part of the company, you see. Down in Alchemics, you might not find as many friendly faces. There is contractor down there, strange kind of person. Not really sure they're a person, not a bird. You run afoul of him, he's not gonna fuck around. Real smart, smells real bad. Yeah, bad. I'm not saying you gotta go through him, but you might have to run them through to get downstairs even lower.
Like you do.
Beneath Alchemics. Beneath Alchemics is the, well, if we're talking safety, there's a collection of items that make me frankly uncomfortable down there. Till's taken to working with biotics lately. Living things. Making some kind of homunculuses. He calls them amalgamations. Don't know what his deal is, but he's got a lot of real dumb things down there that look like people but sound like shitheads. Not like, I think the root is flat, shithead. More like, shithead.
Yep, I get what you're laying down.
Right, but there is a dormitory downstairs in Alchemics. I know for sure Calavera, she's here all the time trying to keep us motivated, but most of us just look at her tits. She would like to see, maybe her contract ended early. You find her, and I think you might find a friend in her. But watch out for Miss Marguerite. She ain't as pretty, and she does everything to the letter of a contract and to the feel of the contract. You run afoul of her, and she will make things not so good for you. You'll see her, you'll know when you see her, because her face looks like it's been bashed in by a moving cart.
Bones just nods like this is a completely normal conversation. She's been doing Demon OSHA forever.
But yeah, Kelly's good people. Mostly, most of the time. Real tricky, but, you know, good.
You know, you've been really helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Well, you know, security is what I do, and securing my friends is part of security, and I'm happy to help.
I'll give him a nod, and I'm... Alright, speaking of securing my friends. we should figure out what the hell they're up to.
He kind of just shifts away from the door and leans to look inside, and he keeps his post over near his security office.
Of
as
course.
You make your way back inside.
I'll head back in.
You see Gallium's being put through his paces. He's hoisting something up that is slowly turning red hot as the Automata Devil and the Clockwork Abomination are dueling, it appears. Roar, you make it back toward the Automata Devil, and you find yourself, kind of in his shadow. He kind of sidles over, and you see that he's not actively getting in your way, but he seems to be actively obscuring you, as though keeping you as a trap card. It's at around this time that, most people start to convene. The Arachnocrat continues to move and brings with you the entourage of OSHA workers. During this time, Biff, Verdi, are there more interactions that you attempt to make? Or are you just listening to the tour?
Biff's listening to the tour. He knows what's in this room, knows enough, and is kind of interested in a door behind them and all else in the facility. He doesn't know anything else that's going down here, so he's just get us as far as you can before everybody convenes and decides that the jig is up.
All right. He does gesture toward the locked door.
That's toward alchemics. We seldom go that direction. Sometimes we need more lye or some grease made. Oftentimes we just send us a gopher to go down, collect things, and bring it back. It is a locked door. There's only so much security that can... Only so many authorized personnel can go that way.
And you?
No, I'm authorized to go anywhere. I'm the overseer.
Of this entire operation?
Oh, no, this top floor, the construction side, the assembly room. There's a forge deeper inside the facility. There's the alchemics wing. My authority gives me 2 alchemics and back.
Indeed. We would like to see a few more of the other areas, perhaps not so in depth if cannot get near all the dangerous chemicals, but a nice passing glance.
Well, perhaps you'll help assist me in getting this in tip-top shape like you said you would. I might be convinced.
Indeed.
Bones, you see that this spider-like fella is leading Verdi, who looks nervous, and Biff, who is pretending to be confident, actually faking it and making it, chest puffed, kind of pumped walking, following after this spider-like fellow, who's pointing out various things here and there. So, let's see. As you guys convene together, the Arachnocrat gathers you, Biff, and you, Verdi, up, and Bones, I assume, is just kind of being like an overseer, or is Bones lending...
Bones is overseeing the inspection.
Overseeing the inspection.
Though she will lend in a hand for the forge stuff, because she does know how to work a forge.
Okay. So, in that case, it seems that the party is interested in lending aid to gain favor. So, I'm going to wet my whistle.
I somehow accidentally targeted this little imp guy, but I don't mean to hurt him.
You should be able to right-click outside of his square to untarget him. Cool. So, this is where the skill challenge comes into place. Throughout the mingling and working and meandering and speaking with these various entities, it is quickly learned that you are fresh blood. Whether or not you guys are secretly here to shut things down is not their concern. They only care about their quota. And so they begin to lean into your assistance. What is going to happen here is a skill check, where I will call upon a number of checks to be made, and each player will choose a ability that uses... Sorry. I will ask for abilities, and players will choose a skill appropriate to that ability and give me some rolls. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. 3, 4, 7 of you with Gallium, and there's Strength, Dex, Con, Int, Wiz, and Chop. So we're gonna kind of pull the veil away a little bit and lean into the numbers.
Quick interjection, since I'm playing healer and doctor. Would it be safe to assume that there's at least 6 devils in here that need healing?
You could assume that. So, I need you guys to... There's going to be 6 checks to make. You need to succeed on at least 4 of them before they realize something's up. So, there'll be a strength check of some kind, a dex, a con, int, wisdom, or charisma. And you guys are free to basically discuss who's going to make a check with what skill. The stipulation is going to be, one person can make 1 check. Others can lend assistance if they have an appropriate skill to assist. So, as more items are brought up from the forges below, red hot, drawn up by the chained devils, or chain devils, you find that there is a slab, a plate of superheated metal that is being very shakily dragged up. There are also numerous items across the room that look heavy. Heavy barrels, heavy tools, steel drums, pylons and such. I would call upon one of the players here to make either a raw strength check or an athletics check.
Are any of those things... Are all of those things less than 500 pounds that you've noted?
Some of them are less than 500 pounds, yes.
Okay. So whenever Roar happens to see someone struggling to grab something, he just reaches his hand out and uses his ring of telekinesis to move the stuff for them.
Fuck. Alright, so, do you see that there's some people struggling to move things? And bippity boppity fuck you, you start animating objects using your telekinesis to move them around, swing them around, and put them into place. You garner a lot of attention. We're not even going to roll for this because fuck it, it's magic. So that's 1 success out of the 4 needed. You eventually move some items into place, and construction upon this strange cart continues more quickly. Marty, beside you, gives you like this knowing nod and a click and a twitch, and
I will hold up the screwdriver to him.
I expect this back.
He takes it from you, and with a flick of one of his wrists, it increases in size and turns into a large smithing hammer. With one hand placed against the hull, he begins to tamp out and tap, turning the iron red hot as he shapes it into place. The horse has got a really nice ass now. There's like shaped swirls and curls, what look to be like embossing in the steel. Okay. This is montage music. Here we go. So, as you help out, Marty speaks very quietly, taking advantage of the sound of the hammers and the smashing in the steel.
This one does not wish for contracts. This one wishes to leave, to see the stars, to create, to see more than this. That one.
And he glances out to the clockwork abomination.
That one ensures this one's obsolescence. This one will be sent back if that one succeeds. This,
he glances at the hammer.
This helps. You will have this back. You will free me.
Does he look like a demon, or is he just like an unfortunate amalgamation type creature?
The creature before you, the one with the... He looks like... Well, he's thin and spindly with gray flesh and many arms. He looks like physically tortured with gears and, iron rods and bits and pieces that shouldn't be there. It definitely looks infernal. Like, it doesn't look like an infernal creature that you've seen before, but it has all the markings of one of the tortured souls from the Nine Hells. If not a naturally born thing, then something that was made this way through fiendish power. But you do glean insight that perhaps its contract may be looser. There may be something special about the situation that's allowing him to, if not help upend this, then at least sabotage that thing over there.
All right. Yeah. I'll quickly ask him.
Is there an easy way to coax him into the circle, or
Parsing, thinking.
He goes to think. We're going to pause on that situation there. As, let's see, the next in the line is a dex check of some kind. I need, let's see. Someone may use a dex check, whether it is sleight of hand or acrobatics or the such. You guys can choose among yourselves, but Roar has used his action, so it must be someone else who makes it.
I'll roll an acrobatics check. I got a plus 12 to it.
Acrobatics check. All right, go ahead and roll. 26. So, with your acrobatic skill. So what happens is, because that is a success, you see, as the hammers are being wielded and things are moving around, there's this moment where Gallium kind of fumbles and twists, and the giant cart begins to shift and sway. It bumps. Oh. One moment. Am I still? I'm here. This giant clockwork creature lets out a as it is hit by the cart and bumps and shifts and swings its arms out, catching this tiny little creature up on the scaffolding. Can you see him? Yeah. Up on the catwalk scaffolding, hits it in the chest, and knocks it off the ledge. Keen-eyed and keen of reflex, you dart into motion. This is yet another gnome falling from a high place in Yanzuru to you. You leap up, you catch the thing, clutch it, and fall to the ground. Whether or not you choose to do a flip is up to you.
With a 26, hell yeah, I do a flip.
You do a fucking flip, an acrobatic pirouette. You land, you place the creature down while they were still flailing about.
Shit. Oh, tits! Oh! Ow! Oh. Thanks.
You're welcome. I'll pat him on the head.
He hugs you. For an uncomfortably long amount of time.
Is his head like tits level too?
It's like tits level. Yeah. It's downright gnome-like behavior. You think he may have won the skill check this time around.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to stab him for this is up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you place him down, kick his ass, and send him on his way. The Arcanocrat looks embarrassed.
Unfortunate things like this. The reason why we do need a guardrail. You are correct. Inspection and inspector and inspector.
Absolutely. Good thing Biff allies are around.
Good thing Biff allies around. Speaking of Biff's allies, Roar and Bones. You have both gone. That is 2 successes. Next in the list is a con check. And someone who feels spicy to make a constitution saving throw of some kind. Karn, if you'd like to wild shape out and do that, you can. I'll give you a chance to do so. Otherwise...
Squeak.
Squeak. Squeaking. Scott squeaking.
Well, I only have a +1.
Oh, Biff can join in that? I thought they were watching.
Well, Biff is welcome to do a thing. Like, this is all loose initiative, but Roar and Bones have used up their attempts and have got successes. Someone in the group has got to make a con check of some kind. I'll explain what happens after I see a roll.
I have a +2 for 15. If it's the highest, I can do it.
Yeah, Biff, you can certainly roll. There's 2 in the pool still, so feel free if you'd like to make the attempt.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else felt Connie enough. I know we got a squishy caster and a squishy tiefling. And we've
I
got,
can do wild shape for a check, but I don't. I kind of have to know why I'm doing it before I can commit to it, because Karn is set to stay as a bat unless something happens to promote him out of it.
Okay.
No, that's alright. Definitely do it.
Alright.
Not proficient, I guess.
Yeah, it would be a con saving throw in this case.
It's asking me to. Sorry. New sheet.
Who it is?
So I'm not proficient in con?
You might not have con save proficiency. You have wisdom and I think dex.
I see. Yes. Okay. This makes sense.
So it'd be a d20 plus 2.
Why is it not rolling?
Is that the D&D Beyond sheet? I don't know how the sheet works.
So 12 with that roll. I'm gonna re-roll that using the die in a pool.
The pool? Alright. So you can take one out of the pool. That's easy.
That's better. That's a total of 16.
16. Okay, so what happens? With all the various OSHA violations, you see that these two here are kind of competing between one another. The Automata Devil and the Clockwork Abomination. At one point, the Clockwork Abomination, its mandibles open up, and it begins to spout a gout of blue flame against the steel. Gallium, currently trying to hold it in place, begins to waver as the steel glows red hot. The barbed devil beside him is,
What are you doing? Yeah, what do you mean it stings? Hold on!
Hold
For
on.
Pete's sake.
and with your con of 16, you rush in to lend help.
Before you resolve that, seeing that it's red hot, Bip's going to use a Stone of Chaos.
Okay. So, you pop Stone of Chaos, and that's actually going to lower the DC, turning that failure into a success. So as you wreath yourself in the power of flame and heat and fire energy, you hop up and get into this space here. Gallium, whose hands are beginning to smolder and burn, kind of shifts out of the way as you get in his place. Plant your hands underneath this vessel and hold on to it. You feel the warmth in your hands turn into a burning heat as you hold on for roughly a minute. You are resistant to heat, correct?
Correct.
Right, you take 3 points of fire damage, but you are no worse for the wear as the steel begins to cool down, the black steel turning blue. So you proceed to hold in place. That is 3 successes. You need 1 more success. All right. So as these various events are unfolding, next in the list, we only have Verdi and Leah. Verdi and Leah? Verdi, Leah, and Karn. So between the 3 of you, I need some kind of int check.
I was hoping to do a charisma check.
I can do int. I got a +4.
All right. It doesn't have to be straight int. It could be, if you want to fluff it, you can choose a skill that relies on int. And we can't substitute charisma for this one.
The only thing that I have is history, and that's a +8.
History as a +8.
Oh no, I have nature.
Nature.
Nature and history are both int, and they're +8s.
You can choose to roll either.
I'm gonna go with history.
History. Okay.
It's a 22.
22. So, as you're observing things and looking about and doing like the OSHA thing, looking for flaws, you can't help but look up at the machine that's being built. With your history, you recognize the creature that they're trying to build. It's an entity from legend, the dark mirror of the unicorn, the nightmare. You look it over, and you note that its anatomy is not quite correct, that the design is flawed, and that, well, I mean, it's a good horse, but that's not a nightmare. And you start pointing out flaws, at which point the Clockwork Abomination and the Automata Double slow down their building, look at each other, and they begin to, well, Marty begins to bicker and point out and holler with its clicking tongue and his stilted verbiage in Infernal. Those of you who speak Infernal, essentially,
I had told you. This was wrong. This is not the correct design. There are flaws. The other devil is right.
While the Clockwork Abomination just squeals, narrows its slitted lens-like eyes, and proceeds to start to make changes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 6 successes that you needed. 4 out of 4 successes out of the 6 checks you needed. For shits and giggles, no, it's already 10. We're not going to do shits and giggles. So, over the course of roughly half hour, an hour, you guys carry on through these various tasks, helping move things around, keeping people motivated, Leah tending to wounds as they come up, picking things up, putting them down, and otherwise lending your aid. The Arachnocrat kind of moves around the room and keeps a safe distance from the group and, watches, observes, and does the thing overseers do. Oversees. Moves about and does this thing over here. And eventually, the heated up metal, the machine, the cart, cools off and is lowered to the building platform. In the sound and the chaos and the noise, Marty turns toward you, Roar, and Gallium and Leah and Biff. You guys are close enough to hear. And that's when he speaks very quietly.
This one has powers. The Clockwork Machine. It is designed to find flaws. It will approach if it finds flaws. You are a builder. Make flaws.
Yes.
And
it's going to begin moving, weaving between people as it approaches the Clockwork Machine. Bones, this thing is way too weird and way too spider-like and way too mechanical as it moves about you, and it begins to argue with the Clockwork Machine, giving Roar you a moment of relative privacy.
I will quickly take my Tinker's tools, and I will start working, undoing a panel and flipping something around to fuck with the mechanical nightmare, and just making it imperfect.
So, as you look it over, you see there are a couple of options too. You can physically deface it. You can swap something around, remove some bolts, and that would be a Tinker tool check. You also see there's a lot of rune work running across the length of this machine. You could also sabotage the runes. It's up to you what you'd like to do. But once you choose the method of your sabotage, I will ask you to roll.
Either way, I'm using a tool set that I have. I'm gonna deface it because there's nothing I hate more than having my own stuff, fucked around with and made not to look like it was supposed to. So I know that's if for a perfection-seeking construct that is 100% going to get its attention.
Okay, so you begin to deface and maybe move some panels out of place. You can roll a. This is going to be a Tinker's Tool check. I'm going to ask you to use your Strength modifier as you are physically prying things.
My strength modifier. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be double your proficiency in your Strength.
Okay. And I'm going to most definitely wait, I'm actually going to roll this out first. Hold on.
Great, yeah. You deface it. You peel back one of the panels and warp it. It busts out a couple of bolts. You do so while Gallium kind of stands in front of you, and Biff acts as a sort of buffer between the two. And over the course of several seconds, you are certain that someone with maybe perhaps a perfectionist eye will see this and say, "Fuck no." A few moments pass as you look upon your work and you revel in this moment of mischief. Marty is rebuked by the Clockwork Abomination, who actually physically pushes Marty away.
Were you not Steel's creation? This one would dismantle you.
He moves back into place and shifts and buffs back into position over here. And he sweeps an arm out toward the workers by the winch.
It is finished. Send it to Zariel.
The chain devils begin to move and pull on their chains, and you see the large winch, this crane arm, swing around, grasp the chain that keeps this thing elevated, and slowly bring it over toward the sigil in the ground. People begin to gain way from it, and it is eased onto the ground. Several moments pass. The sigils begin to light up, and the abomination pounds the ground with one of its legs. It swiftly, with its mechanical legs, begins to climb over people, little spindly, like lance-like legs striking the ground, pounding it as it hurries over. Moving into your space, Leah, do you gain way? Okay. And it looks over the machine, this horse cart, and it stays in place, leans down, and begins to just squint, overlooking the bits and pieces. Roar, give me a perception check. Actually, anyone who's watching can make a perception check. Okay. 22, 23, 13, 10. There's one in the pool. 13.
What was it? Perception?
Perception check.
Okay.
Perception. Let's see.
Vision or hearing?
Vision. This is vision.
It's a 17.
17. Does anyone want to use the last one in the pool?
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Why not?
All right.
Well, fuck that shit. Apparently, using the one in the pool just made it worse.
Made it worse. So, Roar, you were looking for, like, this seems to be the last second to do something, and you're looking for options. with a 23, a 22, Leah, Biff, and with a 17, Verdi. The three of you kind of come to a convergent realization that this thing, the crane arm, the winch, is within just a one swift turn to bumping this creature, which you had seen earlier seems to be a little top-heavy. One good push would send it toppling, as the sigils light up and glow around the cart.
Verdi's gonna look at Biff, and Verdi's gonna make a motion to moving that, because Biff is strong.
You do see in the corner, the winch does seem to be controlled by these panels in the corner here, which are currently unoccupied. Alternatively, you could try to dropkick it.
Biff's going to point to himself, then what's going on, and shrug.
So you said that we all kind of come to a quick convergence, thinking that hey, if we topple this thing over with the winch, it'll go.
Those who rolled above a 15 perception, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm not there.
Biff will do that.
Unless you communicate it. I mean,
Leo will point out to Roar. That thing's awfully top heavy, and it's awfully close to the winch. Since Roar's right behind me.
Does it
look like I could help manage the winch with my ring of telekinesis?
You could probably use your ring of telekinesis to physically move it, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to aid Biff because it looks like he's about to do something. So I'll end up help moving the winch after I see Biff make a move.
All right. So Biff, you kind of shift and like move into position. You see those levers, and basically it's like a large wheel that they've been pulling to move and twist and manipulate this. You just kind of run over. You've been recognized as an inspector, so it doesn't make much. They have no reason to stop you at this point because you guys have been lying through your teeth and getting away with it. I need you to make an athletics check with advantage.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Quick question before you resolve this. Is it possible that Roar uses his ring to make it look like the winch is dropping out of control, and Biff is trying to save it?
That is definitely a cover story that you can use. These things happen kind of rapid fire. Biff, you run with urgency toward this wheel, and you begin to turn it. And as you do, it begins to spin as though something has come loose. The arm swings outward and kunk, smacks into the back of this creature's head. It shifts and topples forward and falls over onto the machine that these devils had collectively just put together, very clearly damaging it. As everyone kind of shouts out in alarm, "Oh, what's going on? Ah, shit, fuck!" The sigils on the ground glow with a red-hot light as the scent of brimstone and burning iron fills the air. One moment. I don't have a half icon for this thing. As the dust settles and the sigils begin to die down in their color and their light, and people are shouting and calling out just what's going on, half of the clockwork abomination is left standing. As it twitches, sparks fly out and its gears spill out onto the ground below. There is nothing left in the circle except for its new mechanical viscera and a black scorch mark, as this machine, damaged or not, defaced or not, has been sent to Olympus. The devils are hushed for a moment. The arachnocrat approaches, and Bones, you see he takes his hat off.
Tid will be most displeased with this turn of events. It is such a good thing you and yours arrived in time to set us straight with these safety regards. That could have been avoided.
It really could have, but I think that some of it might come down to just this. I understand. Security is a concern. It always is. However, I'm worried that you're losing people because they aren't being able to go to their proper place if they die here, which is making it. I mean, it's affecting morale, and that's gonna have knock-on effects. It's gonna affect, your bottom line because people are getting hurt. They're not able to regenerate as quickly, and I mean, more mistakes will happen. That's what we say in the business. Mistakes breeds mistakes.
You sound like Calavera, right?
I have been hearing so much about her. I would love to meet her.
She's in charge of morale, don't you know? And she'll let you know it. Oh boy, there's lots of paperwork to do with this. Oh, gods. Right. Gentlemen, back to work. It's just a machine. It's not one of your own. Stop acting like someone has got gutted in front of you. You've seen worse.
He claps his hands, all 6 of them, and turns about face.
Well, I think you all have seen what you've come to see. A real shit show here.
Don't worry, it's still not the worst I've ever seen. Trust me, I've seen worse.
He approaches one of the nearby doors. Roar. The automata devil looks upon you, slowly inclines its pierced and wounded and tortured head, and of its 6 arms, one of them lowers and unfolds its fingers to you. You see that there is that screwdriver from before in his hand.
I will take.
Dismantle the operation. This one will see the sky.
Most certainly.
I'll take the screwdriver.
Take it. It looks, aside from being very well kept, it looks almost mundane, aside from the runic and the gemstone. Biff. Gallium moves away from that thing. You see that he's kind of has the creepy crawlies. He looks at the spine devil, kind of looks down at him, kind of lowers his eyebrows and glares at it, and the creature actually kind of moves away. Let's see. Devils get back to work. They carry about their business. They continue on as something new is dredged up from beneath the forge level. Biff, you are paid little mind to what has happened as you reconvene with Leah and reunite with the rest of your party. So, what's everyone doing? There's a moment of peace and pause.
I think we were promised a set of badges, some key cards, as it were.
Key cards, badges.
Biff goes to the overseer and wait for the door to be opened so they can get going to the next level.
Okay. 1 moment.
I think it was Bellig, this guy down here, who promised us Sturf.
Sick. Notes are all over the place. So, you reconvene with Zabaz, and he nods toward you.
Oh, seems like you're movers and shakers. Foreman over there. Seems like you curried his favor or put the fear in him. Good for you. He's only got so much authority, but I think he can get you downstairs. Looks like he's waiting to send you that way. Probably wants you out of his hair so he can start berating us for our terrible performance.
Seems like it. Good luck.
Same to you.
I'll head to follow Biff.
All right. You follow Biff toward the to the door, and I'm assuming everyone kind of makes their way to follow the foreman.
Yeah. Make a quiet comment to the chain devil that's next to me. I can't put that back together.
I don't think I can either. There's a lot of bits and pieces. Is that gold? Oh shit, I think that's gold.
He begins to rummage through the guts. Right, as you guys make your way toward the arachnocrat, many hands, he approaches the locked door, looks you over, and places a hand upon his sternum to bow.
Very well. I will bring you down to Alcanix, and you can make your way. One moment.
Shit, I had this open too.
You can make your way to Headmaster Tiviltus. You'll know him when you see him. He's in charge of Alchemix currently. A private contractor Till seems to have hired in the recent years. A bit strange, but I'm certain. I'm certain you can curry favor with him as well, perhaps.
He makes his way toward a set of stairs within this tiny room. As you guys pass through the doorway, you do see that there is a sign upon one of the walls. One that says Assembly, and beneath it, with an arrow pointing down, Alchemix.
Biff will be sure to put a good word in for you.
Most excellent.
Looks back to the others, and just starts making his way down.
Yep, heading down.
You guys follow suit? Okay. Okay, activating, and let me throw some tokens out here.
Like,
So you guys
Mark
can
wants
see.
to make a comment to the many-handed. Not to be too hard on them. They're doing the best they can with what they've got.
Oh, they can do a lot better. I've seen them in their prime. No, they're all simply aware that the pay is not worth it anymore. They'd rather return back to the Nine Hells, redeem their tokens, and retire. But that is not possible at the moment.
I'm sure all the busted toes and fingers that I mended were helping too.
Black cards. Here we are. Up, up. There's one. Tarnbat. Leah. Rur. Miss anybody? I got Karnbat. Everyone can see.
There was a Karnbat.
There was a Karnbat.
He's back on Verdi's shoulder.
Where's Natasha?
You can drag Natasha out of pets to bring her here. Okay, so as you guys make your way to floor 2. You descend the flight of stairs, the red blinking light in the hallway behind you, as you enter into a simple landing which connects to 3 doors. The door ahead of you, down the hall, appears to be made out of the same metal as the main entrance. There are yellow and black striped bars running along the frame. There are 2 smaller doors, one directly ahead of the staircase, and one around the corner from what appears to be some kind of simple wooden rack. Hanging from that rack, there's a set of pristine white robes and what it looks to be some kind of face mask, not unlike a muzzle. And there's a canister affixed to the muzzle of the mask.
That doesn't seem like a good sign.
Oh, perhaps we need some of, and Biff points to the canister and muzzle with the mask. It's surprising our friend above did not give them to us or warn us.
You do know that this place is kind of a shit show in terms of safety and protocol.
He runs a completely different level. I'm surprised if he knows anything that happens down here outside of the people that come up from down here.
Any of these doors look most like a closet.
Gallium is missing. Biff. The door beside Verdi looks kind of like a closet door.
Verdi, perhaps you carefully check the door in front of you, see if there is equipment there.
Alright, does the door seem to be locked?
The door does not appear to be locked. You turn the knob and it begins to creak open.
I'm gonna slowly open it and peek.
You peek inside. And it appears to be a simple closet. There are wooden crates, barrels, brooms, mop buckets, and what appear to be a number of skeletons. They appear to be animated, though they move slowly, and only turn to regard to look at you briefly. The 3 skeletons appear to be dressed in gray grab shirts and pants, not unlike the gentleman who met you at the door, though the clothing is baggy and somewhat worn. Their bones are well kept. They appear to be only slightly startled by your barging in. They do not act against you. They just observe.
There's skeletons in here.
Do the skeletons have equipment?
No.
Then they're useless to Biff.
Alright. Let's see. What's everyone else doing?
While Verdi was started to look at the door, Roar would have cast Identify on the screwdriver. And I know you might not have a card for it right now, but you do. Sweet.
So you take a moment. You take a minute to cast it?
Yes.
So you identify this item as the words and purpose and meaning manifest in your mind. You understand just intuitively that this is an all-purpose tool. It is a magical item that is geared toward artificers. Specifically, those within the School of Artifice can master these, transform them into a tool of their choice, the magic of which allows them to be proficient in the tool form that it takes. There are additional benefits. The magic within allows you to transform your inherent magic, granting you access to a cantrip of your choice once per day.
Awesome.
I'm going to put this in your inventory. It does require attunement, however. All right, so you took a minute to do that. Gallium is kind of hanging out around the entryway. Bones, what are you up to?
There's not a lot of room to maneuver here. I'm just going to examine the white coat and the breathing mask thing.
Sure. Give me just a quick investigation check.
Sure.
If there's, yeah, well, that'll lend more info.
26.
26. So with an investigation check, Biff, you can move yourself into the closet if you choose. The 26 investigation, you look it over, and this material, though it is like a cloth, it feels to your fingers almost like a smith's apron. It doesn't look like it, but it feels like it. With a 26, you can guess that this is fairly durable. That this material is likely resistant to whatever work is done down here. It's a safety suit of some kind. The mask that you look at, as you look it over and kind of hold it in front of your face, you feel a very faint wafting of air. Just clean, fresh air slowly ejected from the canister inside, as though magically produced. Some kind of mask of breathing.
Bones wants one. She's gonna knock on the door.
This one over here?
The one that I can't tell which one the things were hanging on the out of.
So it's actually right behind you where they were hanging from.
Okay, yeah.
So against that wall. This door that over here that you're approaching, this one appears to be sealed shut. There is some kind of black and white tape that runs along the length of the door. With just your passive insight, it seems like some kind of warning. The door to your ahead of you, up on the map, it appears to be a simple wooden door, above which is labeled dormitory.
Oh, hey, this is the dormitory. Callie was in here, right?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Calavera.
Calavera.
Kelly Calavera. She goes by a couple names.
Yeah, well, all demons do. Let's check in here first and see if we can talk to Calavera. She should be amenable to what we're trying to do.
Alright, you attempt the door?
I'll attempt the door.
Alright, you reach for the door. You kind of jiggle the doorknob. Do you make a check before you do?
Can I do it, yeah, I'll do a trap check, because I am a rogue.
Alright, just investigation and check for traps.
22.
22. You find that it's not trapped. It is not locked. It is very worn. There appears to be a lot of foot traffic in this area, and the doorknob it has portions that are kind of like rubbed clean, while there are signs of like decay and tarnish elsewhere. So you get that this path is well traveled.
Can I listen at the door to? Oh, never mind. I was saying, can I
you
listen
to the
for?
door.
But then I realized that the description I was giving of Miss Margaret was like all visual, so I was like, oh, that's actually not going to be helpful at all.
Alright, so did you want to listen, or did you want to go ahead?
I'm just going to go
Oh,
in.
yeah, you rope is up. Oh, go on in? Okay. Door opens. So you move on in. You find that there is a door ahead of you. There appears to be a bend in this long, somewhat cramped hallway.
Should we go see if we can find an ally before we head out to try and find more equipment?
Sounds good.
Well, Biff's gonna do a thorough investigation of the closet.
Yeah, so you investigate the closet. You look about. You search for anything that can be of use, and it appears to be mostly cleaning supplies. You can roll investigation if you choose. Or yeah, you turn some things over. You look around some boxes, and it does seem to be, by all accounts, a closet for cleaning stuff. The skeletons themselves look like perhaps custodians of some kind. There's lots of odds and ends, but nothing that seems to be of much use to you.
Biff actually pardons himself from the skeletons.
They pay you very little mind.
He keeps the door open because why would you? Actually, no, he goes back and closes it. Like he actually left the door open, then shook his head and went back and closed it.
Okay. You go back and close it. All right, Bones, you can move ahead if you so choose. I'm assuming that Bones is like listening, ears up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So roll me a perception check as you make your way down this hall. Anyone sticking close by?
Roar's not far behind.
All right. Feel free to move your tokens. So, Bones, as you approach, you hear some splashing and just some light noise from this doorway here. There's something wet in there. There's something wet in there. You're not sure what. There's some, like, almost like the squeaking of leather shifting as well, or a cushion being depressed maybe. As you look down the hallway, you see that there are many doors that line this dormitory area. It seems like every other 5 steps there's a door on one side or other of this long hall.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to, I guess, I'm gonna skip the splashy room. I really don't want it to be a bathroom. I'll listen to this door in front of me, I suppose.
Alright. You go ahead and listen. Roll a perception check. Ooh. There's one left in the pool.
Yeah, I'm using it.
Okay. 20. Not natural, but I'll take it. So, you bring your ear close and you begin to listen, and you immediately hear the sound of voices, of noise, of someone talking and speaking. It's distorted, and it's faint, as though coming out of a steel pipe. Someone shouting that through a steel pipe. And as you listen, you begin to make out words.
Calavera, respond. I know you're there, and I know you can hear me. My designs are without flaw, and my arcane machines do not break. Respond.
A voice responds from within the room, much closer to you than this distant noise.
You made the schedule. You know I'm on break. What is it?
Irregularity. Anomalous. The readings are off. Something's happened topside, and I need eyes out there to see what's what. Are you listening? Are you ignoring me?
Can't one of your little tube homunculi do that, rather than bother me on my time off?
Amalgamations. And don't talk about my tube men like that. They don't appreciate the degradation.
They're barely sentient, too.
They're specialized for their purpose.
Well, if they're so special, why can't they go into it?
I need better eyes to spot inconsistencies. Now, will you do it, or will your obstinance persist?
Sure. Fine. Whatever. In 2 hours, when I'm back on the clock.
This won't look favorably on your performance review.
Yeah, well, bite my ass. You made the schedule. 2 hours.
Fine. Not a minute more. Happy A-Day.
If you're gonna stand and gawk with your ear to the door, you may as well open it.
I was waiting for you to be done before I knocked.
Oh, much appreciated.
And I'll knock on the door.
You knock on the door. As you knock on the door, it slowly opens on its own. You see inside into a dimly lit room, seated upon a chair, smoking a long and slender pipe, is what appears to be someone almost human. Their features are pale. Their hair is long and blonde, tapering into this dark black complexion as it reaches her shoulders and back. She sits upon a plush chair and takes a long drag out of her pipe. The thing that sets her apart from humans is, well, her skin is rather quite pale. The tips of her ears are a dark brown, cocoa, almost black color, as are her lips, which you kind of clock is not makeup. That and the set of enormous horns protruding from the back of her head, extending about a foot up. Her size is somewhat daunting. You would estimate that she stands maybe at Goliath height. With one leg crossed over the other, she observes you as you stand much smaller in her doorframe, cocks her brow ever so slightly, pulls the pipe from her mouth, and kind of leans to the side, catching a glimpse of Roar. No.
Well, will you be coming in then?
She gestures with her hand.
Yeah, Bones will head in.
You head in. Karn, were you flapping around in character, or were you just getting a look?
I just wanted to get a look.
Just get a look. So you kind
I
of
couldn't
cram in
see
there.
through the door.
One by one, you guys make your way toward the door, and I would assume cram your way into this domicile. This vaguely human-looking devil makes her way toward the door, peeks down to look at the hallway, and one by one just kind of flags you guys to come in.
Oh my god, you guys are standing out in plain sight. Shoulda get off the pod, come on.
As you guys cram inside.
You ever have too many people in your dorm room? That is exactly what I am picturing here.
That is what's happening. She stands in one corner, arms folded, taps her pipe, and looks at those of you who are present. And just sighs.
So, I don't know what this is all about. You look like adventurers. I'm off the clock right now, so make this worth my time.
I heard you were unhappy with your contract.
As we are approaching 10:30, would you guys like to push further or stop here for now?
I am very, very mushy, and I hate to say I'd like to stop for now, but I will only get mushier.
Yeah, I'm ready to stop.
Yeah, likewise. I'm about to pass out here.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long day.
To stop.
Okay.
But this is a great stopping part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place to
I
stop.
already love her. You make the
Yeah.
demons too. You made the demons so likable. Bones is like, I will rescue everyone and send you back to wherever you want to go. Please don't come back.
Full disclosure, you know what? I'll wait till postmortem to talk about it. Once this arc is over, if you guys, depending on where it goes, I will spill all. But for now, cool. I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys for game. Thanks for sticking through it. Gallium, what are you doing? You should be in the hot girls room. Cool.
Thank you for running game.
Thank you
Yes,
guys for
thank
playing.
you.
I'm gonna
Thank
call
you
it
for
here,
running
and,
game.
I'll be in IMs.
All right, night all.